Alright, so I've hit kind of an easy part here, so I'll tell a couple cool stories, as I must say. So yesterday, I will say that hiking sticks are absolutely necessary, especially with people with bad knees or ankles. Yesterday on the trip down, very loose gravel, a lot of washouts, a lot of landslides, quite steep going down to goat camp. On more than one occasion, my sticks saved my life. But what I also pointed out, I didn't take a picture of it, I'm kind of bummed. But in one of these open areas, not quite like this, but with a lot more rocks, there was probably a 5 to 6 foot snake kind of going crosswise of the trail. That's how I see it. It's maybe about, I don't know, inch, no, maybe 2 inches thick. It's a decent sized snake. Didn't see the tail, didn't see the head, didn't know which way it was up. So, naturally, I threw a rock at it, didn't move, threw another rock at it, didn't move. Snake was dead. Kind of an interesting area. I mean, initially I thought maybe it was placed there, but I don't know who would do that. So, with my two trusty sticks, I picked it up and tossed it off the side. So that was kind of a cool little thing. And then yesterday, we want to talk about how I met Robert. So coming down from the top of the ridge down into goat camp, it's a pretty steep climb and not a lot of switchbacks, which is very interesting. Just kind of went down. So at the bottom of that, there's a huge thicket, like almost like a bramble bush, where, you know, it was probably 10 feet high, and the trail literally is a path, kind of created within this bramble bush. So it's kind of creepy, you know, one of those enchanted forest type things. Anyhow, I get about 2 steps into it, and then all of a sudden I hear footsteps. Normally that wouldn't have been a problem, but the footsteps came from inside the brush. And they weren't 4-legged footsteps. You can easily tell those. They weren't a small animal. It was a large animal, and they took steps with 2 feet. So I'm thinking there is a human where humans shouldn't be. So needless to say, I got a little spooked. I'm purposely overpacking my my pack so that I can give kind of a good review of how the pack performed at about 35 pounds. So one of the items that I brought was kind of a hatchet, a battle axe. I don't know what to call it. I'll show you later. So that came out pretty quickly, actually. I stopped, I listened, you know, I'm on full alert, and nothing. So I'm taking small steps, looking around, kind of doing the whole 360, like where the hell am I? Where could this person be? Take a couple other steps, and all of a sudden I hear it again. I stop. The noise stops. I'm like, okay. So either I'm stopping to listen, or they're stopping to listen, or we're both stopping to listen. Anyhow, there's someone other than me out here that's not identifying themselves. Needless to say, I got out there pretty quick. I get down to goat camp, and it turns out that that other person was Robert. Nice little switchback, and I'm not using my stick, so I'm going slow. It was Robert. So Robert's like, hey, just so you know, that was that was me earlier. I'm like, oh, did you see me? He's like, no, I heard you. And he's like, I stopped to hear, and there was nothing there, so I started again. Then I heard the noise again. So essentially, he did the exact same thing as I did. So he's a trail person, trail crew, I guess. Unappointed trail crew. And he was actually looking for an alternate path through the bramble bush to create. So he brought this like old school wood-handled saw, clippers, big old clippers. And I was pretty impressed with the amount of gear this guy brought in. But apparently he comes out here for a few days and just does that. Just does trail work, trims all the poison oak, which I found a lot of, and looks for alternate ways to get through things. So that was an interesting story, and a story that in any other part of the world may have ended differently, but not here in good old California, Los Padres National Forest, Ventana Wilderness. Not here, folks. Well, that's all I got.